Good day. Good morning. It's good morning where I am right now at this time. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but I have some things I want you to think about. And as I always say, think about this. This is the fourth day of early voting in Arizona, so I'm still fumbling and reading the propositions so I can get down there and get my 2 cents in. But the time has come, ladies and gentlemen. We're up against it, and this is it. It's now or never. And I just want to point out, before I start, to think about where we are and who we are. And think about what is taking place in our environment or in our little corner of the world, wherever you are. Think about what's happening in your little corner of the world. We are not fighting against flesh and blood, but we're fighting against powers and principalities, evilness in dark places. So this is not about Republican or Democrat or Green or Independent or any of those things. It is about evil versus good. And this is where we start. Our moral compass. If you are proclaiming Christianity, then you must take into consideration what is taking place in our country and what the two major parties has to offer. And on one side, we can see plainly theft, murder, destruction, chaos. Just Antichrist. The spirit, let's just go there, Antichrist. And we are driven by what is best for us. Well, in the long run, what is best for us? What is best for us is our salvation and our souls. That is what we have to live with for eternity. So I'm bringing this up because I know that there are people, well, Kamala, or whatever, Kamala, she's going to give you $25,000 to buy your first home, $150,000 for something else, $6,000 for the child care, and $600. But in the same sentence, she wants to kill the children. So what do you need child care money for if you're going to kill the babies? But that's, again, it's just my perception of things. And you have to stop and think of this on your level. Is killing babies okay? Is boys being transformed into girls, is that okay? Is taking my money and giving it to somebody else, is that okay? And then stand back and tell me that I'm doing this for you. We have to come to our senses. I think the last time I spoke, I asked that if you would just go to Google, like you do for everything else, and look at the party platforms. And if you can stand or if you agree with everything that your party or the party that you've chosen believes in, then vote for that party. But if you don't, it doesn't matter who the people are. It is your beliefs and your moral compass. Now, people are saying, that the black man is dissing, or how do you say, turning his back on his own kind because he won't vote for Kamala. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm supposed to cut my own throat just because Kamala is black. Is that smart? Is that rational? Does that make any sense? I don't think so. Because Kamala stands before you and laughs and then tells you that she's going to do all of these great things for you. But you have to look at Kamala and ask yourself, and ask her if you get the opportunity, what have you done lately? And when you see what she's done lately, then you know you suffer because of what she's done. So I don't want to sit here and preach to you about what you should do or how you should do it. I'm just asking you, I am begging you to search yourself. You look and then you decide. My purpose and my sole purpose is soul saving. That's all I want to do. I do have an alternative motive here. I want to save souls. And you can't be Christ-like when you're doing everything against Christ. You see, we have a situation where the people in this country is suffering right now, especially those back east where the hurricane path, Florida and North Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Tennessee, all of those places back there who were hit by 2 hurricanes recently. They're suffering. And they're crying out for help, and we need to focus on helping them. We need to help them. But then our government says, well, we need more money. Then one branch of the government says, well, we gave you $20 billion for this purpose. Where'd it go? And then somebody says, well, it went to house the immigrants and give them all of the things that they're enjoying at our expense. And this is what Kamala said, and says, well, I'm going to have to raise taxes. And then in the next breath, well, I'm going to give you $25,000. I'm going to give you. Well, how in the world did she figure giving all this money away and raising taxes is going to solve the problem? If you're giving it away, you're going to have to raise the taxes again and again and again. And I am sure, or I'm more confident now, that these people have no economic experience or knowledge. They don't understand that we're going to make the rich pay their fair share, and we're going to tax the billionaires, and they don't understand that if you tax a billionaire, whatever he's producing or whatever business he's in, he's just going to increase his fees or his salary. So he's not going to have that output. It's going to have to come from the people who he serves. If you tax Kroger's grocery store, they're not going to pay those taxes. They're going to raise every item in the store 2 or 3 cents. And guess what that does? They make more money than they were making in the first place because you prompted them to have to raise their prices to cover what you wanted them to pay. It's just nonsensical. But I'm just saying, you need to think about these things. You need to think about where we are in our country. And we need to get our country to where we, as American citizens who pay our taxes every day, can live comfortably and peaceably. We don't have any of that. Now, we're not comfortable because we're scratching and scraping and afraid to spend a lot on anything, not knowing what's going to raise up next. And we don't feel safe in our communities because all these people are coming from those foreign countries where it is dog eat dog, or shall I say, the strongest survive. I believe in my heart today that if we have a food shortage or we run out of things that sustains our life, we are in trouble as Americans because we're not geared the way those people are geared. They are geared to go out and get what they want when they want it. And if they have to kill you to do it, that's what they do in their country. But they come here and we give them everything, and then when we run out, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do what they did in their country. They're going to just start taking. And again, we're not geared that way. So there's going to be a lot of American carnage if we ever fall short of anything, if we don't get this under control. So we need our country back to where we can live in peace and where we have moral standards. When we lose our moral standards, then we lose our country. So you can see why we're where we are. Morality is in the toilet. And we're against God on everything that we can come up with. The day is Columbus Day. And I heard the person who is running for president give a speech, a Columbus Day speech. And was it about American prosperity or American achievement? No, it was about Columbus coming over here, stealing land, hurting people, bringing in diseases and so forth. This is not a person who wants this country to prosper and do well. Everything is to turn everybody against everybody else. And if we do that, then they can stay on top, you see, because we won't pay attention to what they're doing behind our back. I'm sorry, I just come on this morning to give you a shout out and say, think about who you're going to vote for, because we're here. It's polling time. And it's time for us to make a choice. And it is a choice. And it is not against our brothers and sisters. It is against evil. It is against tyranny. It is against destruction. That's what we have to stand against. And we have to look at it. They talk about the orange man and destroying democracy and so forth. Well, I think he had a chance to do that 4 years ago and he didn't. So everything for me was pretty good when he was there. So I'm going to take a chance on letting him do it again. You make the choice, because it's your choice, your vote, and your life. But God stood for good and evil. And God stands for good and not evil. So I'm asking you to look within yourself and think about what you're about to do when you get into that polling booth. Think about it. And I would suggest you think about it before you get there, so when you walk in, it'll be a smooth transition. Just go in and mark your X's, punch your ballot, and move on. But whatever you do, you own it. You own it. It's yours. Your privilege, your choice. So I fought for you to have that choice. As a matter of fact, I'm a veteran, yes. I fought for you to have that choice. But you make it, and then you own it. But when the chips are down, then just think about where you were and what you did at this time. Think about this.